Ooh, bro, that smells nice. That smells really good. Oh, you guys are here? I know what you guys are doing here. You're here to see 10 fragrances with the best opening. And you may be asking, what do you mean opening? What is an opening in a fragrance? It's pretty simple. The opening of a fragrance is when you first spray it on, what it smells like, all the top notes, that is the opening. And I just want to throw out there for anyone that may be new, maybe a beginner, and you're not really sure of the fragrance terminology. So that's exactly what we're going to be going over today. 10 fragrances with the best opening. And I'll be honest with you guys, what you're going to notice with this list is the majority of these fragrances are going to be fresher fragrances. And the reason why is because generally fresh fragrances are going to shine in the opening. The reason why is because they're composed mainly of top notes like citrus and other types of fruits and sometimes some florals. And typically those notes come to the surface right when you first spray the fragrance on. That's what you get right away in the opening, all of that citrus. And fresh fragrances like that are typically made up of mostly those citrus fragrance notes. That's kind of what they're known for. Whereas on the other side of things, sweeter fragrances tend to shine in the dry down. That's not to say that sweet fragrances don't smell good in the opening, because a lot of them, most of them do. They do smell great in the opening, but they really come to full effect in the dry down once you get all of the base notes working together. But that's not to say that the opening doesn't smell good on sweet fragrances, and that's not to say that the dry down doesn't smell good on fresher fragrances. There's just kind of a trade-off there, but typically that's what you'll notice. Fresh fragrances tend to shine in the opening and you kind of chase after those top notes, whereas sweet fragrances, you tend to chase after the dry down. So really quickly here before we jump into the video, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Also turn on post notifications to give this video a like. That really helps out the channel, helps out me. And while you're at it, do leave a comment down below telling me what your favorite fragrance openings are, what your favorite fragrances that have the best opening are. I'd be curious to know, because for me, I'm a big fan of fresh citrus fragrances, so it was kind of fun for me to compile this list. There was a lot that I left out, but there were also a lot of really cool ones that I tried to throw in here that maybe you didn't see coming. So again, do let me know your choices down below in the comments. That's one of my favorite things, is reading your guys' input and feedback to kind of help expand my fragrance knowledge, because I'm still learning just as much as you guys are. Just because I have a channel doesn't mean I know everything about fragrances. I couldn't be farther from the truth. So you guys help me learn, and I feel like I help you learn as well. So let's go and jump right into the video. Starting off with the first fragrance on this list, we have John Varvatos Nick Jonas Crimson. So this is a new fragrance to my collection, and by the way, you can grab this one on FragranceNet for a really good price, along with all the other fragrances in this list. I'll have them all linked down below. Probably some of the lowest prices you're going to get on all of these, but this one right here, I love this scent. This is one that really shocked me, really caught me off guard. I saw it was a new release, and I also saw the John Varvatos Nick Jonas Blue fragrance, which that one didn't look quite as unique to me as this one, so ultimately I ended up going with this one. Still probably going to try the other one out, but I haven't yet. But I got to tell you, this fragrance right here, this one smells incredible in the opening. Mainly what I get right off the opening is apple. It's a nice fruity blast, some supporting notes like some coffee and some sweeter notes, and I believe some lavender starts to come in as well, but it's mainly that apple, that fruitiness with a little bit of a sweetness as well. So it's really nice and really intoxicating in the opening. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, I haven't smelled a John Varvatos fragrance that has let me down yet. So this one really blew my expectations. It smells fantastic. So if you haven't tried this one yet, I highly recommend you get your hands on it. John Varvatos Nick Jonas Crimson. This one's awesome. Moving up next here, we have Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum 2017. So this is an amazing fragrance. And I gotta tell you, the opening of this one, the opening of this one smells incredible. What you get in the opening is this like zesty lemon citrus combination. It almost smells like you're literally taking like lemon zest and orange zest and you're smelling it, like you're smelling the peel of a lemon, kind of like the peel of an orange as well. That's what you get in the opening of this fragrance. It's probably, to me right now, one of the most realistic citrus openings that I've smelled. Now granted, I haven't smelled a lot of the really high-end citrus fragrances out there. I have smelled Bergamot 22, I have smelled Le Labo, Bergamot Soleil. Those are fantastic scents, but they just don't quite go in the direction that this one does with that lemon zest, that orange zest. It just smells incredible. It really caught me off guard, and it's one where you're going to be able to pick up on that regardless if you are an inexperienced person into fragrances or if you smelled thousands of fragrances in your very developed nose. I mean, anyone can be able to distinguish this lemon zest, very citrusy, heavy opening there. It just sticks out. This one is more of a mature scent, though. After that, you get a lot of lavender, you get a lot of woods, kind of goes in that older school direction, which for me personally, I love. I've been enjoying those fragrances, but it's not going to be for everyone. Don't get this mistaken with Dior Sauvage Parfum or any of the other Dior Sauvages in the blue bottle. This smells nothing like any of those, so don't get it mixed up here. Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum, a classic fragrance for a classic gentleman. This one smells great. A fantastic opening here. Moving up next on this list, we have Rosa Parfums Elysium. So this one should be no shock to you. This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. This is one where I got a sample of it, tried it, and I fell in love. And ever since then, it's just been one I always reach for and I always wear. I love this scent. It just works really well on me. The main player I get from this one in the dry down is vetiver. That's one of my favorite parts about this fragrance, and that's one of my personal favorite notes. But the opening of this one, the opening is incredible. There's a ton of notes in this fragrance to begin with, but definitely a lot of top notes as well. You got black currant, you got grapefruit, lemon, bergamot. You got a ton of stuff going on in the opening of this fragrance. Mainly to my nose, the black currant and the grapefruit tend to stick out the most, with some of that lemon and a little bit of bergamot giving it just a little bit of a tart, kind of like a little bit of a bite, like sourness in a way, I guess is one way to describe it, but mainly it's the grapefruit, the black currant. And I also really like black currant as a fragrance note. I own a number of fragrances that are kind of black currant heavy, which will be another one later on down in this list. But this fragrance, the opening, just incredible. The opening smells fantastic. It'll blow you away. The dry down is basically just as good, depending on what you're into fragrances. It could be even better, but the dry down is no slouch either. Rosa Elysium, it's one of my favorites for a reason. This stuff is just incredible. Up next here we have Chanel Platinum Egoiste. So there's something incredibly special about this fragrance to me. It just smells great. It's almost kind of nostalgic to me. It just smells like you've just hopped out of the shower in a type of way. It doesn't smell like Sauvage or something, or Dylan Blue, or anything that has that out of the shower, like shower gel type of freshness. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm just talking about like if you are like a mature guy and you step out of the shower and you're gonna go shave your face, or something like that. That's kind of the vibe that this one puts off. It's clean and fresh, but also has a very big barbershop component as well, and a fougere component. So it's kind of, to me, I guess one way to describe it, it's like the Dior Sauvage of back then a little bit. Just out of the shower, clean, fresh, but without smelling harsh of ambroxan and other stuff like that. This one's more refined, more smooth. And like I said, there's just something special about this one. You really have to get your nose on it to see what I mean. But I don't think you're going to be let down if you do smell this one, because this one, incredible. The opening is gorgeous. It's a little bit metallic from like the lavender and geranium mixture, but it smells fantastic all the way through. But the opening especially, really to die for. Chanel Platinum Egoiste, this one is a work of art. Great scent, and the opening is amazing. Moving up next here, we have Creed Silver Mountain Water. So this is the other fragrance I was talking about that is heavy on the black currant in the opening. This one, what you get is tea, black currant, bergamot, and musk. That's really about it for the most part. There's a few other notes in there as well, but that's mostly what I get to my nose. The tea and the opening mixing with the black currant and the bergamot just creates this kind of like inky type of smell, which is kind of interesting, but trust me, it does have that type of vibe. Not everyone likes it, but for me personally, I do. I love the opening of Silver Mountain Water. Again, not everyone likes that inkiness, but I do. And I even love the dry down of this scent. It goes in the musky direction. That's mostly what you get in the dry down musk. Still some of that tea, some of the black currant kind of hanging on by a little bit. So it's a relatively simplistic fragrance, but it doesn't smell like, like cheap, or it doesn't smell uninspired or anything, despite that it is pretty straightforward. It smells great, has great quality, and it performs pretty good for a Creed as well. Again, the opening, incredible. Creed Silver Mountain Water, probably one of my favorites from the line, believe it or not. I own a lot of Creeds, but this one, it always just impresses me. Up next, we have Versace Man Oh Fresh. This one you've probably heard of before. You probably smelled it before. There's nothing new about this fragrance. Everyone basically has it for the most part, or at least has smelled it. But regardless of that, I'm still including it in the list. It's fresh. It's like slightly aquatic. It's got this tropical smell and it's very musky. It smells amazing. And the opening is killer. Versace Man Oh Fresh. I'm going to try to run through this one pretty quickly because it is pretty popular. Great opening. And the fact that I'm still including this in the list, despite this being a fragrance that is talked about a lot and that has been out for a long time, should say something to the quality and just the overall scent itself. I really like this one, Versace Man Oh Fresh. Starting to work our way down to the end. Up next we have Dior Homme Cologne. So this one right here, this one is killer, and you probably recognize this one from my videos over summer when I was probably including this one in just about all of my videos. It's for good reason, because I love the fragrance. It smells incredible. I'm going to tell you what it smells like. I'm sure you've heard it from every other review and reviewer out there, but it smells like a nice ice cold glass of sweet lemonade. That's really what I get from it. It really does smell like that. If you really envision sitting on like your front porch, you have a pitcher of iced lemonade that's like nice and sweet and refreshing and cold, and it's like 100 degrees out that day. That's what this smells like. It really does, and it smells incredible. This one, super simplistic as well, only has 3 notes, but it is done really well. It's done to perfection. It's a great fragrance. Some are going to argue that it is kind of expensive for what it is, and I'll agree with you there. You're probably going to be paying around $80, $85 for this fragrance. Again, I'm going to have it linked down below to the best price that you can get it for pretty much, but you are going to be paying quite a bit for this bottle, for this 4.2 ounce bottle. But honestly, for me, it's worth its weight in gold. 100% worth the price. There are alternatives out there. There's Mercedes-Benz Cologne, which is actually kind of discontinued, so maybe that's not a good alternative as of right now unless they bring it back or unless you find a good deal on it. If you can find Mercedes-Benz Cologne for around $40-$45, maybe even pushing $50 for like a 125 ml bottle, buy it 100%. If you want this fragrance at a cheaper price, buy it, because the Mercedes is pretty much splitting hairs close to Dior Homme Cologne. If you want an even cheaper alternative, which still is in production, Jimmy Choo Man Ice would be your way to go. That one's a little bit more sweet and kind of differentiates a little bit, but it is still nice. And of course, there's an alternative which is even more expensive than Dior Homme Cologne. It's Chanel Allure Homme Sport Cologne Sport. That one's really nice as well. I've actually done a video comparing all of these fragrances together over the summer, which you can check out on my channel. But yeah, Dior Homme Cologne, sorry, I digressed a little bit there. Fantastic opening. One of my personal favorites for summer. Up next, we have Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct. So the opening of this one is amazing smelling. And again, this is a relatively affordable fragrance. I mean, you can get this one for, I want to say, probably $25, $30 online, maybe even less than that for like a 100 ml bottle like this. And testers are probably even cheaper than that. Very affordable, very obtainable, and smells fantastic. What you get in the opening is melon, just a little bit of like a spice, and a lot of musk as well. But the melon note just sets it apart from the rest. It smells really good. It honestly kind of smells delicious in a weird type of way. Really nice scent. It is kind of young smelling, but I don't care. I think it smells fantastic regardless. Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct. This one really is a killer scent. Really nice one to have. Up next, we have Mancera Lemon Lime. So this one is a lemon fragrance. Shouldn't be any surprise there. If you like lemon, you're going to love this fragrance. This one is straight up lemon all the way. It's very strong in its performance and just its strength of the scent itself. If that makes sense, it's very strong. And it kind of honestly reminds me of those like lemon head. Oh, my cap just flew. It honestly kind of reminds me of those lemon head candies, if you're familiar with those. Just straight up lemon blast all the way through. Mancera Lemon Lime smells incredible when you first spray this one on. It's hard to beat. And finally, the last fragrance on this list, we have Dior Eau Sauvage Very Cool Spray. So this one's a little bit of a twist here. We're not talking about the eau de toilette. We're talking about the actual Very Cool Spray, which is actually an eau de toilette concentration. It's not a body mist like a spray deodorant. It's an actual eau de toilette, just in a different type of, atomization or something like that, however fancy word you want to use. But very cool spray. This one is more bright in the opening compared to the original Sauvage EDT. The Sauvage EDT goes more on the ambroxan and peppery metallic opening. This one focuses more on the citrus, the bergamot. The ambroxan and all that is still there in the background, but the citrus is really pushed forward on this one, and I think it smells way better than the opening of the original Sauvage, and it honestly smells really nice, really addicting. Sauvage, very cool spray to end this list. This one's awesome. If you are a fan of Sauvage and you don't have this one, I say go for it. It's like 50, 55 bucks probably. Really, really affordable. It comes in a nice durable bottle like this, so you can just toss it around, toss it in your book bag and your laptop bag and your gym bag or whatever, and then you have a fragrance that you can apply easily. So Sauvage, very cool spray, awesome scent. And while we're talking about it, performance is also great too. This one actually performs almost better than the Eau de Toilette on my skin. Very, very strong despite it being this type of spray, so don't let that fool you. This one's a beast mode. Guys, I gotta jump in here real quickly and tell you about our new company, Fragrance Match. What we've developed is a subscription service where each month you get 2 5 ml fragrance samples of your choice delivered directly to you. What sets our website apart from the others is the fact that 1, we're cheaper, and 2, we send you 2 fragrances each month instead of only 1. And what's so crazy about this whole deal is the fact that we're offering this for only $9.99 a month. There's no shipping, there's no fees, $9.99 a month, and you're getting 2 high quality designer fragrances of your choice each month. That deal, that's insane. I don't know how we're doing this. In fact, I don't know why we're doing it this cheap. If you want to get in on this deal while you can, go check it out. The first link down below. $9.99 a month for 2 5 ml designer fragrances. Guys, if you haven't signed up yet, seriously, hit that link, go sign up. Thank you guys so much for the support. Let's get back into this video. So guys, that was it for this video. That were my 10 favorite fragrances with the best opening. Again, make sure you let me know down in the comments which fragrances you would choose for this list, and that's gonna do it for me. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow night with another video. Take care.